Ooh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Ooh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more. Do more, do more, do more. Ooh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it off in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Ooh, I tell her, and she gon' work that round. I'ma mess around and drown when she drop that down. Now my phone be blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she a next the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin static. I be straight up like an addict, might be coming at it. Now I gotta have it, had enough with all the moves, yeah, move here. Ooh, let me grab it now, I'm on 1 year. Now I'm not done yet, told her wait right here. I'll be back one sec, this is just time out, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, then you know what's next stage. You been rockin' with an all-star, baby, and I know you coming early like a false-star, baby. Packing out the seat, this ain't no hostile, baby, and they know me in the city like a mob star. I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more. Do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it off in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her,
Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience and the pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. About my chicken and its rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition, they ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing yet. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
What's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f*** is it? They should've had them 2 bells ready. Space shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, all they saying, I look stressed.
I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guys, Bitcoin getting pretty volatile, getting a drop down to about $92,300. I want to talk about this drop to the downside, guys. Is this a potential bottom, or is there much further down for Bitcoin to go? Is the bull market over? I know everybody was so scared yesterday. Oh my God, Frankie, is the bull market over? We got that big drop to the downside. I think it was what? Let me just measure it here real quick. 15% to the downside, Frankie. Is the bull market over? I'm selling all my bags. My altcoins are bleeding. What the heck is going on here? We're going to break it all down in tonight's live stream, guys. I want to talk about the key level that we came down to, that we were looking at yesterday as we were fighting to potentially get above the daily level we were rejecting, looking at that as our key level, that if we were unable to reclaim that daily, we were very likely to see a drop down towards that value area low, getting closer to about $90,000. But as always, guys, those levels of support are zones, and we did come down to a very, very key naked point of control before seeing that big bounce come back in. So we're going to break down the price action for you guys. I'm going to talk about the key levels to the downside, what I'm expecting here, the ranges that I'm watching, and how I am handling this price action moving forward as we go into the holiday week here, guys. And real quick, guys, before we start, I don't know. I had an idea today. We've done this before in the past, but I think we're going to do something special for the mods today. Any of our super chats, by the way, quick reminder, please do not super chat your altcoins. It does not guarantee that we will look at them. You don't have to super chat. You can request altcoins, but you don't have to super chat. But speaking of super chats, guys, all of the super chat revenue that we make from today's live stream is going to go straight to the mods, and I will match whatever that number is. So yeah, shout out to the mods. We're gonna do that. So, but yeah, shout out to the mods. We appreciate everything you guys do. We want to do something nice. So yeah, shout out to the Mafia. If you want to show appreciation for the mods, drop some super chats. And like I said, I will match whatever the Mafia drops in the chat. So shout out to everybody in the chat here. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us, spending your precious time here with the Candle Mafia on this beautiful Friday to take a look at the charts. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Speaking of mods, good to see you in here, bro. We got Darren Dustings, Tyler Durden, Crypto Billy. You guys know who all the mods are. Show them some love in the chat. Let's see, what do we got? We got Grassy Bacon in the chat, said, go mods. Let's get it, guys. They help us out endlessly on this YouTube channel. So, yeah, show them some appreciation. Hey, Bubba's Crypto with a super chat. Jumping in already. Said, Candle Mafia, congrats for being here. Hashtag love the mod. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Thank you so much. And shout out to Death Beach. I always want to say Death Burka. Shout out to Death Beach. And shout out to the mods. Let's go. Yo, shout out to you, man. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. But yeah, shout out to Jay Violet. We got JD in the chat, said, how about the like police? And hey, shout out to Jesse. If you guys want to sign up to be a volunteer as the like police, go ahead and push those likes in the chat. If we get 1,000 likes in tonight's live stream, I will add $100 in Solana to our giveaway at the end of the live stream. So yeah, smash that like button, guys. We're going for 1,000. Shout out to Jesse, our official like police, says, here we go. Let's get it. We got Cuz I Can Bump It, or Koozie Can, as I like to call him. We do have the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water on deck here, guys. So I'm going to crack that. And without further ado, I need this like a hole in the head, I'm not going to lie. But here we go, guys. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts and see if we can predict this next move on Bitcoin. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys. Here we are on Bitcoin. I like. Shout out to Sean. Thank you for smashing that like button. Shout out to All Day. Said, I like totals. Shout out to All Day Trades. Let's get it, brother. But yeah, let's see. Let's see, bada boom, bada bing. I will come back to the super chats, guys. Thank you so much for the super chats. If they do stack up, I will come back and read through every single one of them. But I do want to jump into the analysis really quickly here. As you guys know, yesterday, we're going to start here on kind of what we were looking at yesterday. So obviously yesterday, guys, kind of overall, I'm gonna bring it all the way back here to this breakout, right? We got this breakout out of our range. And as I was talking about yesterday, guys, to me, I'm always looking at the price action in terms of volume profiles. And when we were looking at this yesterday, we were saying, hey, at the end of the day, if we do wind up getting accepted back into this range, we are just going to be looking for price to come back down to our next key level of support, which was sitting between about $92,200 and about $90,000, $89,900 to be exactly technical with that. Closer down to our value area low. And I kind of want to talk about what we were looking at yesterday, right? So we got the breakout. We always look at these breakouts of these volume profiles as potential deviations above the high. This is where we want to look for shorts, because even if you're going to continue to the upside, we're not going to range around forever. But yeah, every time we deviate above these highs, we can look at it as somewhat of an overvalued asset, right? The volume profile gives us that fair value in the middle of the range. And then anytime we deviate above, this is overvalued. And anytime we deviate below or come to the value area low, this is what we look at as undervalued. So we always look for shorts at the highs, longs at the lows, and this is just how I view the price action, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. We're coming down. My altcoins are bleeding. Bitcoin's going to zero. The bull market's over. This time is different. And I tried to put people's minds at ease yesterday, talking about how, 20, 30, 40%, I would say probably 35% push to the downside in a bull market is definitely not out of the question, right? This is very common. We see this happen in bull markets all the time. I know it doesn't feel the best to see prices drop like this. But at the end of the day, I was saying from a chart perspective, this is not necessary. There's nothing really necessarily that's happened on the charts that is screaming to me that we're going into a bear market, right? And that's the beautiful thing about the charts is when you understand how to read these, you can, take the emotions out of your trading, right? Because you're not looking at this as like, oh my God, why are we dumping? Everyone's panic selling, the bull market's over. You're just looking at this simply in terms of a range. And, we run into this every bull market, right? Everybody gets into the market, it's up only, and they see one red candle, and they're like, what the heck? This is not what I signed up for. But I'm here to put your minds at ease. But I will say this, guys, if there is a time to worry, I'm going to be the guy to say that as well. So, when it's time to worry, I will be, you guys are going to be like, Frankie, don't scare me. But when there's nothing to really worry about or nothing on the chart screaming that, something really bad is happening, I'm going to let you know that as well. So hopefully I put some people's minds at ease. And you can see we actually did wind up seeing yesterday during the live stream, yesterday, guys, just full transparency here. I do not win all of my trades, right? I get stopped out of trades, and yesterday I actually got stopped out a few times. I kind of got hammered yesterday, to be quite honest with you. But obviously, I got stopped out for small losses. I'm not getting liquidated. I'm not blowing up accounts. But yesterday, I did take a nice little scalp long. I don't want to say nice, but a scalp long here on the POC. We came up a little bit, and then that got stopped out. And then we had our next key level, which was this daily here. This was the long trade that we were showing yesterday. It was in profit at the time. Where we bounced off that daily level, we got to move up. We were in profit, and then this was kind of the key zone we were looking at. Like even in the grand scheme of things, once we got this drop in this failed auction from above, about $105,000. Once we started losing this, and we got the bigger drop to the downside, our real big zone of support was sitting down here between the value area high and this daily, right? Because we knew if we come down here, value area high is key support. Once we wind up getting stuck back into this range, we can anticipate the POC to come in. If we lost that POC, that daily was kind of the last level that was holding us, holding our head above water, and we knew once we lost that level, we were very likely to see a quick drop to the downside. Again, just in terms of the volume profile, targeting eventually the value area low. However, obviously this was a zone of support that we were looking at yesterday with the daily naked point of control sitting here at about $92,190. And it's actually really funny because yesterday I filmed a video on how to find these naked points of controls on your chart and why I love to look at these levels when it comes to when I'm hunting for trade entries, right? These are very, very key levels of support and resistance, and I was talking about like the reliability of them and why I like to pay attention to them, and we came down there and wound up getting a daily naked point of control to give us a nice move to the upside as we got that drop down. So we lost the daily, we got the drop down to our box. We got the bounce off of the top of that box, which is the daily naked point of control, and now we are trying to potentially try to reclaim this tap daily level. Now, the key levels of resistance above, I'm going to hide this old daily naked point of control, but right now, guys, like in the grand scheme of things, we are just within our volume profile, and hopefully, if you guys tuned in last night, you guys see these volume profiles play out, where it's like, we don't just sit up here and say, hey, if we keep going down, we're probably going to go lower, right? Like, we know that once you lose that daily, you are going to get a gravitational pull towards your value area low. And like I always say, levels of support are never going to be exact. It's never going to be like one single level. We like to look at this as a zone, right? Because we don't know if we're going to come hold that support on the daily naked point of control or if we're going to come down here and actually tap that value area low. Now, based off the laws of the volume profile, as long as we are below this POC, the doorway to that value area low, which again is sitting at about $90,000, does remain open, right? Because right now, although we are trying to get above this tapped daily now, I'll hide that for now. Our next key level of support resistance is going to be that POC sitting at $98,147, right? We come up here, flip this to support. We would simply look for a move up to the value area high at about $100,000, and then this is going to be a super, super key level, not only to flip or to break out of, but flip to support in order to get a continuation to the upside. But until we get above that, we are still looking at this range, and as long as we remain below this POC, we are definitely still have an open door to come back down to $90,000. So we'll have to see what happens here. But again, hopefully you guys see these key levels and kind of understand how I use these volume profiles to anticipate the next move on Bitcoin, right? And yeah, it's still possible to come down to this value area low, but we'll see what happens if we can come up to this POC. Maybe, just maybe, it'll happen during this live stream. We can come up here and start to play with this level. But, maybe a potential, some kind of head and shoulders action here. Obviously not something that I necessarily trade based off of, but that is definitely looking some kind of head and shoulders-y to me. So if you do wind up getting the breakout here, these would be the next two targets to the upside. But again, just in the grand scheme of things, looking at this as our overall volume profile, and let me go ahead and hide these overall levels. I want to talk about, if we were to see a continuation down, guys, because again, like I said, everyone was freaking out yesterday and was talking about how this wasn't really that scary of a drop, and somewhat normal in a bull market. There is still even more room to the downside if we were to come lower, guys. I just want everyone to understand there is still room to come down here and still remain in a bull market. So if we go into the holiday week, obviously my streaming schedule is going to be a little bit off. I am leaving town tomorrow to head back to New York for the holidays, and I am going to try to take some time to spend with the family here. If anything crazy happens, obviously I'll drop some mobile market updates on the laptop for you guys. But if anything really crazy happens, I just want you guys to know, like, if we were to see, hopefully we could just see a Santa rally, but if we don't see that and we get the bigger drop to the downside, we'll come into Market Cypher B and kind of look at what money flow is looking like. But if we were to get a bigger drop to the downside, I want to talk about some of those lower levels. And it really, I just want to point this out, guys. If we got to drop down to $82,000 to $80,000, to be quite honest, when we look at our naked points of controls, right, we obviously came down. We're holding this one as support as of right now. But if, we start looking at some of these higher time frame and, stronger levels of horizontal support, we have the daily naked points of controls as well as some weekly naked points of controls. And, oftentimes when you get these big moves to the upside, there's not much support built up in these areas. So if we were to get some kind of crazy drop to the downside, I do just want to point this out. I'm not necessarily calling for this right now. But, if you wake up one day and we are down at $82,000 to $80,000, I just want you guys to understand we do have a significant support down here. Not only do we have the 2 daily naked points of controls, you can see the prices right there. This is also confluent if we pull our golden pocket. I'll just roughly pull it here from the low all the way up to the high here. Let me go ahead and change the settings real quick. We do have golden pocket confluence on these 2 naked points of controls. And then if, just in simple terms, right? And now just to keep in mind here, guys, I'm not saying we are definitely going down there. I'm not calling for this price just yet. We're still pretty far away from this, but I want to put people's minds at ease, and I want to show you guys something very specific and explain why this wouldn't really freak me out that much, right? It's really hard to say. I really stressed this yesterday, but, prices don't just go up in a straight line forever, even in a bull market, so just keep that in mind. But if we do get that drop to the downside, right, we have this nice confluent level down here, golden pocket, the 2 daily naked points of controls. I will just go ahead and pull this up as a box, right? So that will be a very significant level of support between about 82.8 and about 79.9, right? Now, not only is this our golden pocket daily naked point of control confluence, but just underneath that, if we did wind up losing the golden pocket here, right, we come down here, maybe get a little bounce, but if we do wind up losing this, you're very naturally going to look down towards that 786 Fibonacci retracement, and this is kind of the zone, right? Not only do we have the 786, but we also have the daily naked point of control and the weekly naked point of control, and that weekly naked point of control is coming in at $75,000, almost to the dollar, and this is really going to be where I want to start seeing bounces. Like, again, I'm not concerned about this at all, right? Doesn't mean that it can't turn into something very bad. But, as of right now, like, nothing has really happened on the charts that is screaming, oh, my God, we're breaking macro market structure. We're going to zero, guys. The bear market's here. Nothing on the charts has really called for that just yet. And I know it seems like everyone out there is so scared off of this dump. But just coming from a chart perspective, there's nothing really that has happened here. When something happens, obviously I'll be the first one to let you guys know. But even if we were to get a bigger drop to the downside here, hopefully we don't have to see that. But these are going to be the 2 next really, really big levels of support that I'm watching. Now, on top of that, guys, I do just kind of want to bring this up as well, right? If we did come down to those levels, not only is this 786 Fibonacci retracement coming right in line with our previous range highs, right? It is not impossible, right? If we did see that come down and start to test those range highs, that could be a very, very big level of support, especially when it's in line with these other technical levels being the Fibonacci retracement and the daily and weekly naked points of control. But if I also pull this up, if you pull up the bull market support band, right? I'm just going to pull this up. You can see the bull market support band comes right in through this level as well. So if they did want to get like one other flush here and really spook people out of the market, like just to put it in context here, and this isn't even something I was looking at before. You guys know this 786 was like the key level that I'm watching as kind of like the last level of defense, right? Come retest the range highs. Once we start losing that, we are obviously going to be at risk of potentially getting back into our, this overall 7-month range that we were trading in forever. We don't really want to see that. I'll be honest with you. I would really, really prefer not to come down into this range. But just to kind of point this out, if we did come down there, guys, not only are there technical levels with confluence, but that bull market support band is really coming up through that same exact zone, right? Like if price takes time to come down here, this is going to move up over time, and it's coming right in this large zone of support, right? So it's not really until we start flirting with this bull market support band, 786, golden pocket, naked points of controls, and start losing it, where I would really start to think like, hey, something is a little bit weird here. And at that point, we would have already seen, we come down here, 31%, like that's not unheard of in a bull market, but once we start losing that and getting accepted back into this range, you start getting into the 40% mark, which isn't really very common in a bull market. Obviously in 2021, we did have a situation where we came down to that bull market support band. We lost it. This was a 50% dump to the downside, but this was also a very specific scenario, right? This whole bull market basically ended in a double top. We all know this was a weekly bearish divergence, but we kind of had this weird fake out before coming up and putting in the actual numerical all-time high. But we always talk about this, back here, I really do consider this the all-time high of 2021 based off sentiment, search term analytics, all that good stuff. And this was just some kind of like inflated dead cat bounce or just simply a liquidity grab before getting the big drop into the bear market. So, can you see fake outs below the bull market support band before getting back above it? Yes. But typically once you start breaking it, this was essentially just, we were already kind of topped out here, right? We lost the bull market support band. We hopped back above it, and then we just kind of lost it anyway, right? So once we start losing that bull market support band, that's really where I would start to worry. But regardless of the bull market support band, like it's the same thing, right? It's just these other technical levels that we've been looking at. It just is in perfect confluence with those lower levels of support that we've been watching. So keep that in mind. That's kind of like worst case scenario that I can see. And even if that does happen, guys, like I wouldn't really be panicking just yet. It's not until we really start playing around with this level where I'm like, all right, guys, now this might be a little bit sketchy. But yeah, I just wanted to cover those lower levels because there really is beautiful, beautiful confluence here. And you can see how beautifully these daily naked points of controls, let alone a weekly naked point of control can be, right? You come down, you tap this almost to the dollar, and we get a pretty, pretty nice bounce, right? So I just wanted to cover those higher time frame levels. Let me go ahead and hide those really quick. But yeah, locally, similar situation as yesterday, right? Let me go ahead and pull up our range. Right. And yeah, so, we stay below this POC. Doorway to $90,000 is open. We have a 786 down here, value area low. I will be open to long positions down here. And to be quite honest with you guys, this 92,000 is $92,000 or $92,190 level was a level that we were keeping in mind in the premium Discord. Let me go ahead and pull this up, right? Actually, I think I have it pulled up. Put so many setups in this Discord sometimes that it's hard to remember which ones are there. But you can see down here, this was posted a while ago. Where is it? On the December 10th, right? Looking at price in terms of a volume profile. Now, obviously, we took a pretty big move, right? Like we got the move back up to the highs and then we came back down. But you can see we had a very important anchored VWAP coming through here with that daily naked point of control and a 786 Fibonacci retracement level. Now, I'm unfortunately not in this long position. We came down here. I was not at my charts when we dipped into this level, unfortunately. But you can see we did come into that zone. And not only did we have the golden pocket daily naked point of control, but we also had our VWAP, right? Our anchored VWAP coming from this low right here before we actually came up and, really started going into an explosion to the upside into real price discovery. I pulled that right. Let me just make sure I get this to the wick. Bada boom, right? So the anchored VWAP, this is the same place that I've been pulling the Fibonacci retracements from, this significant swing low. And the reason this is significant, in my opinion, is because this is the lowest that price went on that last retracement before getting really impulsive and like smashing through the all-time high and going into price discovery. And we had this absolutely important anchored VWAP coming right through in that zone. Now, from the Discord setup, these levels did change a little bit, right? This golden pocket was a different golden pocket, but we also had the 786 sitting in here as well, just giving us that beautiful zone of support. And when you look at this from a volume profile perspective, very simply put, guys, this is not the same volume profile that we looked at before. We have a few different ranges here, right? But again, the reason why this was another key level is because if you look at your local value area, right? Deviation above the high, you get back into the range, you go to the POC, you go to the value area low. This was essentially a deviation below that value area low into a key support level, anchored VWAP, golden pocket, daily naked point of control, right? And then that is where you are essentially more, from a general sense, where you're going to be looking for long positions. This is where people get very, very scared in the market. This is where we see price as somewhat undervalued. Just like when you get above the range, it's overvalued. This is where you look for shorts for a return back into the range, POC value area low, deviate below, low, you get back into your range, you go back up to the high, deviation, you go back in, get rejected from your value area high, go to the POC, go to the value area low, right? So on and so forth. You essentially just come down here. This is looked at as an undervalued asset into the golden pocket daily naked point of control, and now we have gotten the bounce back into our range. So until something changes here, like this is our range, right? And again, you could look at it slightly differently. If you pull up the larger range, there's a few different ranges that we're looking at. This one's a little bit more macro, but this is why we have to look at multiple levels, right, and multiple volume profiles, because there's no guarantee that we're definitely going to come down to this value area low, although based off the laws of the volume profile, it's very likely, we don't know, right? We could have potentially just deviated below this local value area, come back into the range, go back to the high, and then maybe get a breakout. Now, I will say this, guys. Money flow on Market Cipher B, when we take a look at something like the 8-hour, right? Money flow is is coming down into the red, right? VWAP is coming up, looking for a green dot. Now, I will say money flow's trying to fight back up here just a little bit. But once we get that green dot on the 8-hour, we may be able to get a continuation to the upside. Now, our 6-hour money flow looking to cross over into the red as well. We have our 5-hour money flow just starting to peak into the red. Now, if we are not going to see hashtag bull market give us the fake out into the red, which oftentimes we anticipate that last push down we had here, well, I guess not really. That liquidation wick happened after the money flow crossover. But, we looked at this 4 and 5-hour money flow crossover back, back earlier in December, right? We had that money flow crossover into the red, but we look at this as like, hey, we are in a bull market. Oftentimes we see that money flow fake out into the red before just coming right back up into the green and breaking the highs once again. Even here, we had money flow faking out, looking like it wanted to go into the red. What happened? We put the higher low in, and we exploded back to the upside. So when we look at this, right, and we see that 5-hour money flow crossing over into the red, when we see the 4-hour money flow coming out here, we have to be careful, right? Because again, those bearish signals, those money flow crossovers, sometimes just fake out back into the green. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not taking these signals seriously at all, but you have to understand the environment you're trading in, right? When you're in a bull market, you have to favor the bullish confirmations over the bearish confirmations. That's just like the trend is your friend until the end, right? That's like TA 101. But we'll see what happens here, because there is some kind of 12-hour money flow trying to creep into the red here as well. But if we could potentially narrowly escape these money flows crossing into the red, and we can get these back into the green, we may be able to get saved here, because we did come down to some key support. And for me, it is not about trying to guess the exact bottom, right? Because like when I'm looking for trades, especially like day trades, scalp trades, leverage trades, stuff like this, right? I'm not worried about I don't want to take a long until we get down to this, super, super low level, right? I am just looking at things in terms of ranges. We can catch those longs below the low, catch the shorts above the high. I am still holding my short here from about 106K. I have profits locked in on that. We showed that trade yesterday. But we're just trading the ranges, right? Short from the highs, looking for longs at the lows. Again, full transparency, I did not take the long here at the low, unfortunately. Can't catch them all, unfortunately, even though we do try to treat trading like Pokemon. But at this point, right, oftentimes, whether we get the breakout to higher prices, if this was the bottom, more often than not, I am in that long position, right? And if we break the highs, it's like, well, hey, we're long from the low. But we don't have to anticipate that this is the exact bottom forever, right? This is where it starts to turn into like some kind of gambling, situation, right? We don't have to know that this is the exact bottom, because all we need to know is like, hey, if I could take a nice long entry here in anticipation of getting at least back into the volume profile, back up to the POC, this is typically a TP1, flip that to support. Value area high is typically TP2, and then we hold that winner for a potential run, right? So unfortunately, if that happens, this will not be the case. Maybe I can potentially find an entry here on a retracement, but oftentimes that's what it is, right? If we continue down, right, if we just come up here, put in a lower high, and then break down to break structure to lower prices once again, well, I still have a portion of my winner holding this short from 106K, right? So whether we break down or we break up, oftentimes when we're in these trades, we are either short from the high or long from the low, at least in some kind of a partial position, letting that winner run. And then, this is not the most beautiful range, to be quite honest with you guys. But oftentimes these are very clean ranges where you're just like catching these nice range trades from the high to the low, from the low to the high, from the high to the low, from the low to the high, from the high to the low, from low to the high, from the high to the low, right? And then, once that range breaks, that's where we let those runners win. Those winners run. The winners won. But yeah, that's basically how we handle this stuff. But we'll see what happens here. But for me, this is how I look at the market. This is the ranges that I'm watching is this main range right here. And then again, this larger range here pulled from all of this consolidation here, which gives you that lower volume profile. But again, I like looking at many profiles because again, if you can't just sit on your hands and say like, well, there's a value area low here, so we have to come down to it. Because if you do have like other local ranges, you don't know whether you're going to, maybe you're just going to sweep this low, get back into the range, and break out. Now, I will say money flow, technically, from a binary standpoint, is not necessarily going in the right direction, right? We have money flow coming out, which could indicate the trend is going to continue down, which, again, we are open to some of these lower levels. We just talked about like the really scary levels. But, again, in a bull market, that's typically not what happens, right? Money flow on the 12-hour comes looks to cross over into the red, back into the green, massive green wave, big move up, right? So there is a possibility. I hate this. I hate this about the bull markets, guys. But, when you see these money flow crosses looking to cross over into the red, you do have to kind of look at this as like, hey, you have to take it for what it's worth, but you have to understand that you are, obviously trading in a bull market. So, and I don't really want to beat the dead horse here, but we always go back to 2021 and we take a look at what money flow does in bull markets typically. And, money flow comes out right back into a bigger green wave. Money flow comes out way back into another big green wave. You keep breaking those highs. Every single money flow, money flow comes out in the bull markets, but it's not always an indication of a massive longer term downtrend. So I will say right now we have held some pretty significant support. It doesn't guarantee this is the bottom, but in a bull market, even though really the only thing making me think that we could probably continue down here would be based off money flow, right? Like daily bearish divergence is confirmed, but that VWAP is starting to round back to the upside. 2-day bearish divergence also confirmed. 3-day confirmed red dot. 4-day confirmed red dot for quite a while. And then, last weekend we did confirm this weekly red dot and technically bearish divergence. So, there are potential opportunities or arguments to be had to come lower. But again, guys, if that does happen, you got to be really careful not to get scared out of your bags in a bull market. I can't tell you what to do with your money, right? Obviously, if you get scared and you want to jump out of the market, that's a decision you have to make. But for me personally, when we're in a bull market and understanding how these charts move, this is a really, really nice support level to hold. But if we're going to see this money flow continue into the red, you do have to at least be open to the idea, and which we always are as traders, right? Like we come up to this value area high, we know, hey, this could be a deviation as an overvalued asset, looking for potential shorts back down to the low, and then maybe that's where you see the continuation of the trend. But, if that money flow continues into the red, you would have to anticipate that to be a lackluster retracement to put in a lower high and continue to the downside. But hopefully, we just bull market out of there. But again, just because it's a bull market does not mean up only, guys. So if we don't get that, right, and the money flow winds up coming into the red, that weekly red dot continues to rear its ugly head, and we get a bigger drop to the downside. I want you guys to have these levels on your chart so you're kind of just, price is dropping. I have my next key level, right? So I shout out to, forget who it was. I think TDK in the premium Discord was saying, Frankie, being in this Discord is the most helpful thing. Having access to your charts, it takes a lot of the emotion out of everything because, again, if you don't know how to read a chart and you're just looking at this to see if it's going up or down and you see something like this, I understand that not everyone knows how to read charts, right? This is obviously normal. But, if you don't know what you're looking at, you see this dump here, you're panicking. You don't know what the heck is going on, especially if you're new to the market. You might have entered up here and thought oh my God, is it all over? Without a longer term kind of viewpoint on things, guys, just zoom out, right? This is a bull market, right? This is a little blip to the downside, nothing to be scared of in my own personal opinion. And again, even if it got even uglier, looking down towards 80K, still not really too much to worry about as long as we hold that bull market support band / golden pocket 786. So that's what I'm looking at here, guys. A very, very nice move through our volume profile. At least this larger volume profile to the daily naked point of control with a clean deviation below our range low into that golden pocket anchor VWAP daily naked point of control for a flip back into this range. So these are the local levels I'm looking at. We'll see if we can get back above this POC, see if we can get hit at $99,624 local value area high. Once we start getting back above here, we start flipping this. That's where I will probably just start looking at the value area highs, almost exactly the same here. So about $100,000 even is the big level to get above and hold. But again, if we see that happen, you are betting against money flow, right? Which is okay in a bull market if you're going to keep getting fake outs, but you have to be careful. I don't typically love, betting super, super heavy. It's a little bit of a difficult situation because you would be saying if you want new all-time highs coming in very soon, you're basically just betting against the money flow, which is not my favorite thing to do. But we play it level to level. I will be treating things, and that's the beautiful thing about treating things as a range, right? We don't have to, say this is the exact low. This is definitely the low forever, right? But we are oftentimes looking for trades down here and shorts up here, right? And then whatever we get, we're usually long from the top, long from the bottom or short from the top. So there you go. That is what we are looking. Let's see. Shout out to Pratham said, I have learned trading discipline from Frankie, more important than ever. Yeah, shout out to Pratham. Like, I know the levels are saucy. I know the setups are saucy. But a lot of times, guys, not a lot of times, but like the real truth of the matter here is that when it comes to trading, especially day trading, even investing in general, obviously, your psychology is really what's going to make you successful, right? Because what happens when you come into this market and, you think it's going to be up only and you wind up aggressively buying tops. And this is why whenever all the altcoins were pumping, I always say, right, not chasing coins that were already ripped 600%, right? Looking for the undervalued altcoins, and we will get to the altcoins. A lot of them are actually taking a pretty significant hit here. Nothing really out of the ordinary for like a 15% dump on Bitcoin. Obviously, the alts get a bigger drop than Bitcoin. They're much more volatile. Maybe I'll make a video about that, talking about kind of like, if Bitcoin were to drop to 80K, what would that do to altcoins? But the you wind up seeing these breakouts. You buy the top, right, and then you start coming down, and you have the fear of missing out on the pump to the upside. You buy in high, right, and then you get the dump to the downside. You get the fear of it being over. You sell the bottom, and then instead of seeing these dumps as opportunities, which is what people should look at it as, in my opinion, that's how I look at it in a bull market, right? They look at it as fear, right? And they sell the fear, and then they're not going to buy back into their bags until they see things ripping again and they feel the fear of missing out again. And then what are they doing? They're buying up here. They're selling at a loss. They have less money to invest now, right? And then when it pumps up higher, not only are they buying in with less money because they lost money on this drop, but they're also buying in at a higher price. Right? So it's just like you just eat away your money on the way up. And a lot of people fall into this trap. And this is what, this is why everyone always says, like, the whale, you're basically just don't sell the whales your cheap coins, right? Like that's the game of a market, right? They scare everybody out. They buy all the cheap coins and then they send it again. So keep this in mind. Try to keep try to keep calm when you get these drops to the downside. And hopefully these levels, understanding how to read the charts and the education we give you here on the live stream kind of give you guys the confidence to understand, like, well, hey, yesterday, we knew if we lost that daily and we couldn't get back above that POC, we were going to see a bigger drop down to our next blue box, which is sitting right here, and that's where we got the bounce. And even if we didn't get the bounce here, you at least know that where the floor is, right? Where you have at least some kind of a floor that's likely to come in, right? So you kind of just sit there, wait for your boxes to get hit, and then, make your decisions at the areas where there's a high probability of a reaction occurring. So there you go. Smash that like button, guys, if you have not already. Shout out to Jesse saying smash that like button. Let's go. He is the like police, guys. Jesse is the like police. Let's see. Shout out to Fabian says, my boy, what is that? Filiconi. I don't know exactly what that says, but it says we're going to 86 to 74K. Well, hey, I don't know if you were here for the beginning of the stream, but yeah, we do have some very key levels at around 80 to 75 to 74K or 77 to 74K. We also have that CME gap down here as well. And that bull market support band, right? So if you're not a big chart person, I recommend it's even better if you're not looking at charts at all, like look at like the simple stuff, right? Like a moving average, which is all the bull market support band is. It's just two moving averages. And you can just understand, drop down to these levels. This will come up over time as price comes down. But, you just kind of have an idea of, where there is some kind of support that's likely to come in. Let's see. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. I see inverse head and shoulders on shorter time frames everywhere. Yeah, shout out to 3-digit. Yeah, we actually just talked about that on Bitcoin. A little swoopty swoop. Boop, boop. Something like that. But again, we have to keep in mind that we have the key levels. We are still within our volume profile. And again, for me, right, POC is the next level. Flip that. Value area high is the next level. And at that point, I would be a little bit cautious, right, with the way money flow looks for a potential pull back into the range, back down to the low. But we'll see. If we can hold above here, maybe get a push up. Maybe we can get a shocker here. Maybe we can get saved by the bell, right? Everybody gets super bearish on these drops to the downside. Even here, right? Oh, my God, Frankie, we're breaking market structure. Nope, that's a wick. That is not breaking the market structure. We still have the higher lows. And just to put this into perspective here, guys, this was kind of the trend line that we were looking at. You could also draw this, to the wicks. Either way you look at this, even if this trend were to break, right, and we were to get a drop down to 80K, it doesn't mean the bull market's over, right? Like when I talk about these higher lows, it's really just a local trend, right? I don't want anyone thinking that if we do wind up breaking market structure here locally, that it's bull market over. That is not what I mean. Because if we came down to 80K, obviously we would break all this structure, right? Come down to 80K. That doesn't mean bull market over, right? It's just the local trend. Like those aggressive squeezes to the upside. Oftentimes, the Bitcoin does like to hold those higher lows. So just keep that in mind. But we'll see. We'll see if we can push up this POC. Go ahead and let me go ahead and we'll put an alert on here. What is going on? Why can't I put an alert on here? Oh, do I already have an alert? I already have an alert on there. That's why. We'll put one here at the value area high as well. So we'll see if we can hit this during the live stream, right? Technically, at this point, right, locally, what I'd look at here, deviation below the low, we're back in the range, get above that POC, look to come to the value area high. Again, getting very close to about $100,000. All right, shout out to Frankie's new chair. Said, did Mrs. Candles understand the mission last night? Shout out to Frankie's new chair. Mrs. Candles went missing. I think Henry, I think she wound up, I don't know. She never came back last night, and I don't have a new chair. I think she might have just taken the money and ran. We did overpay for the chair a lot. I think we gave her a big stack of money. She just never came back. Shout out to Frankie's new chair. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, I do want to take a look at some of these altcoins with you guys real quick. We will keep an eye on Bitcoin as the price action develops here. But let me go through these super chats. Look at the love for the mods, guys. Reminder, all the super chat revenue will be going to the mods tonight. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Tate. Said, yo, the best of the best is back live. Shout out to Crypto Tate. Champ Tate. Did I say Crypto Tate at first? Shout out to Champ Tate. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the super chat, bro. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. Bubba said, CandleMafia, congrats for being here. Hashtag love the mods. I think we read that one. Shout out to Bubba's Crypto. Thank you for showing support. Death Beach. Shout out to the Mafia mods. Thank you for that. K Diggity dropping some love for the mods. Merry Christmas, mods. Phoebe's a mod, right? Yes, Phoebe is our Phoebe is one of our main mods. Shout out to K Diggity. V-Sun said the best mods in crypto YouTube. Shout out to y'all. I can lose money and still be happy in the live chat. Thanks to you all. Happy holidays. Shout out to V-Sun. Thank you so much for that, bro. We got Shunzin saying thanks to the mods. You rock. Shout out to Shunzin. Thank you. Pro Platinum said cheers to the mods. Oh, let's go. Yo, shout out to the mods, guys. The Mafia loves you guys, and I love that they love you as much as I do. Shout out to Kaj. Says, Frankie, would you like this $6 or will you double it and give it to the next person? Shout out to Kaj. I will double it and give it to the mods. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Team is about to break all-time high. Shout out to Mark. We could try to take a look at Tima in just a minute here. Thank you for the super chat. Nirvana, thank you for the super chat. Said just for the sake of supporting the mods. Let's go. Shout out to Nirvana. And Frankie's new chair said, I thought you gave Mrs. Candles a bag of cash on the fake out last night to come pick me up and pay off Henry, but I guess she went to the mall instead. Yeah, shout out to Frankie's new chair. Yeah, I don't know where exactly she went, but she never came back with the money. I got like $240 left. So, yeah, I don't know. I think she might have ran with the money. But we'll see. Maybe she's going to pop in today. Maybe she'll come in with a new chair. Who knows? And shout out to All Set. Said, happy holidays and Merry Christmas, CandleMafia mods and fam. Shout out to All Set. Thank you so much for that, man. And thank you guys for showing some love to the mods. We appreciate it, and I know they do too. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead. I love me too. Shout out to Tyler Durden. I love you, bro. I love you. Let's see. Okay, so let's jump into some of these altcoins, guys. I do want to take a look at Ethereum really quickly here. As Ethereum obviously has gotten the drop to the downside as well. Now, yesterday, if you guys remember, I did update this Ethereum chart just before the live stream, so I do want to cover what we had happen here, right? So Ethereum also coming into a daily naked point of control and holding it somewhat nicely at about, we wicked down way below it, but we did wind up kind of just swing failing that daily naked point of control. This really would have been the higher time frame support level, and I will bring up the volume profiles in just a minute. But just to kind of visualize where the significant supports are, if we wind up losing this daily naked point of control decisively, guys, obviously we have intermediary levels as well. But if we get a bigger drop to the downside, we have two daily naked points of control sitting between $2,914 and $2,800. These are the next significant daily naked points of controls that we have to the downside. Now, if I pull up the weeklies as well, we do have a weekly naked point of control, which we've already tapped. And we have no monthlies as well. But you guys can see this local top did come in right on that monthly naked point of control. And if you guys are questioning, like, what the heck is a naked point of control? Why are they so important? Why are they so strong? I shot a tutorial yesterday on how to find these naked points of controls, get them on your chart, and why I like to look at them, and specifically when I'm looking for trades. And it's just funny that we wound up seeing a lot of them hit. the day after I shot that video. So that will be coming out probably some point next week. So if you guys are hanging out with your family or you have some free time over the holidays, you can go ahead and watch that tutorial, sauce up, give away some Christmas presents for the Mafia, of course, in the form of trading education, so you could change your life and hopefully one day fire your boss. But below that, right, we start losing this, right? I would be looking down to these 2 daily naked points of controls, right? Let me go ahead and pull some fibs here really quickly from the high to the low. You can see very similar to Bitcoin. You do have golden pocket confluence on this daily naked point of control, and then you have the 786 confluence on the second naked point of control sitting down here, closer to about $2,800. So again, hopefully we don't have to come down there, but if anything gets scary, we do have support down below. I want you guys to have these on your chart so you're not freaking out if price starts to dump. And yeah, starting off with those levels, now let's go ahead and pull up our ranges here. And yeah, like not only did we have the monthly naked point of control up here, we also had this nice spider line confluence before getting that rejection to the downside. Now, what I will say is, let me actually just go ahead and hide these spider lines just to clean up the chart slightly here. But yeah, this is our volume profile, guys. We have the 2024 range that we created here. We have this beautiful volume profile. This was the level that once we broke out of our lower range here, this was the rotation of value that we wanted, right? You have value down here. Once you impulse or imbalance out of this range, you look to gravitate towards your previous area of balance. All the market is a rotation of value, guys. You get back above the value area low, you flip it to support, you look to come into the POC, and then you eventually look to get above that POC into your value area high. This is simply a deviation above the high before getting back into your range and coming back down towards that POC. And we did front run that value area low. So very similar to Bitcoin here, guys. I will be viewing this as a volume profile as I look at everything through this lens. Go ahead and hide these pull up some daily levels. I will pull up the weekly levels. We have a daily and a weekly sitting right there. And I will also pull up the daily naked points of controls. Where'd they go? Oh, here they are. Okay, so I don't want to crowd. I'll take off the daily naked points of controls. But I will say, if we do right now, right, very similar to Bitcoin, like we're just within this range, right? If we continue up, we will be looking for price to come into your value area high, sitting at 37.14. Once you get above there, potentially could get another push to the upside, right? Now, we do have levels above as well, but I won't really look at those as of right now because they remain the same as every other live stream that we looked at on Ethereum. But this is the range. Value area high is your next major key level to the upside, 37.14. That's what we're looking at. If we can get above there, hold it as support, that's where we can get the bigger move up. We do have this daily level sitting up here now, a fresh daily horizontal at 39.88. So just keep that in mind if we do deviate. And again, when we're looking at the money flow here, guys, like 8-hour money flow crossing over into the red, right? Bitcoin's getting close to crossing over into the red, but Ethereum has gotten the crossover. So from a binary technical perspective, this would make you anticipate the downtrend to continue, which would likely call for a lackluster push to the upside to put in a lower high and continue your trend to the downside. And if that does occur, you have these key levels down here, value area low sitting at $3,072, and then this daily/weekly horizontal level is sitting at about 3,076, right? So this is kind of a zone of support, right? So we'll look to come down here if we are unable to, break structure back to the upside and continue that pump. If we come in, we put in a lower high, get that move to the downside. I will be looking at this as the key zone of support. Even if we deviate below this volume profile, could look for bullish confirmations. If we did get them, I would be looking for a move back into the volume profile, back to the POC, which is right here, and then flip that, look to go to the value area high. Simple volume profile rotations. And this is why I love the volume profiles, guys. It gives you a beautiful blueprint, right? Like all of a sudden, when you're sitting in this volume profile, right, like at this point, you don't have to freak out about what price is going to do next, right? Because you could just say, like, as long as I'm in here, right, and I remain below that value area high, the POC, right, which is right here, the POC and the value area low are likely. And you could even set alerts here, right? Like right now, I would not really be that interested in taking a trade on Ethereum in the middle of the range, right? Unless it was like in the middle of, if I was looking at it in more of a local context. But like right here, I wouldn't really be interested in looking for a short until we came up to a key level of resistance, which very likely will be the value area high. And I wouldn't really be interested in longs until we come down here and tap those lower levels, right? Like I don't want to long early if this trend is going to continue down. I'd rather just wait and either catch a short and then look for the long when we come down to a more key level, right? But I will say these wicks, guys, the liquidations are crazy. This is what we see a lot in a bull market, right? You get the big liquidation wicks to the downside, flush out the longs before continuing to the upside. So although money flow is not calling for that, money flow looks bearish here on the 8-hour. If we continued the move to the downside, I will say this. Pull your Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low. You can see we have a little bit of confluence here on the golden pocket value area high. So if we're going to put in a lower high and that money flow is going to continue into the red and we are going to continue the downtrend, you could potentially look for price to come up here. And you don't know if you're going to reject the golden pocket or the 786, but this would be, this is where we know the highest likelihood area to put in the lower highs and continue the trend to the downside is going to come between that golden pocket and 786 Fibonacci retracement. But we do have nice confluence here on that golden pocket value area high. So it's definitely going to be a key level of resistance if you aren't along in Ethereum and we do get a move back up here. Me personally, I'd be taking some off the table here. Obviously depending on the entry, assuming that you're in decent profit here, that you do have that confluent level up here, which could be an area where you may start putting in lower highs. And even in that perspective, right, you're just a deviation above the high, back into the range, back to the POC, back to the low. So there you go. Hopefully this kind of gives you guys, put your mind at ease, right? Like even if you get the move down, you get the move up, you can kind of just relax and wait for price to come into a high probability area for reaction. Trading is more about setting traps than it is about going out and looking where you want to hit the buy button. I never hit the charts and say, let me see here. Let's look at Doge. This looks like a buy. I'm going to long here. Let's see, XRP, this looks like I'm going to sell here, right? It's not about that, right? It's about actually doing your analysis, finding the confluent levels on the chart, and waiting for price to come into your trap, give you some kind of confirmation signal to enter the trade, and then and only then do you enter the actual trade, right? That's how I trade, right? Sure, could you just randomly long and short, offer resistance and support? Sure, but if you want to make money consistently over time, this is how I recommend doing it, right? Not financial advice. But those are the key levels, guys. That's what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Clean little range here. Just heard something crawling around on my walls. Let's see here. So let me just grab this, drag it into the current range. Go ahead and hide that. So yeah, and then, if we did get a bigger break to the upside, obviously we have our upper range up here. And just to kind of point this out, in the macro, guys, for Ethereum, I will just say this. Even if I just hide all our RTA here, like what did we really see happen here on Ethereum? If we pull our Fibonacci retracement from the all-time high, right here at 48.68 to the all-time low, right? What happened here? We got a retracement into the golden pocket 786. We got a cool off, and we just came right back into that golden pocket 786. So in my opinion, Ethereum is rejecting very key resistance here, right? So this is a huge level. If we could get above this level at $4,000, right? We get above here, flip this to support. That is, in my opinion, the biggest level to get above in order to see new all-time highs for Ethereum. And if we pull up our upper range, you can see that 786 is on the chart right here, and it's also right in line with our doorway to higher prices, right? So there's a reason for that. Once you get above the 786, that would invalidate the idea of putting in a lower high, right? Because, this would be pretty bad, in my opinion, right? If we just came in, because if we're just looking at this as a situation where we're looking for a lower high to come in, right? It could come in at this macro golden pocket 786 for a massive move to the downside, right? This is not what I would think is going to happen, right? Just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin had to come into this retracement as well, but what happened? We broke above it, flipped it to support, and broke the all-time highs. So, I don't really see us, it would be the weirdest situation ever that, not impossible, but it would be the weirdest thing ever if the top is in on Bitcoin and Ethereum just not going to all-time highs. It would be like, we would definitely go back in time and look at that and be like, oh, yeah, remember the weird 2024 bull market that didn't go into 2025 and Ethereum didn't make a new all-time high? It just doesn't really make sense to me. Now, obviously, that's basing mostly off the 4-year cycle. And as you guys know, I'm not I don't want to say I'm a 4-year cycle non-believer, but there is just nothing, you just cannot deny that Bitcoin and crypto follows the monetary policy, right? It follows traditional finance. Every time we've gone into bull market, it's on looser monetary policy. All these things are always in play for a bull market. So I think there's probably, both things probably come into play, but it would just be the weirdest thing ever if Ethereum didn't make all-time highs and this was the lower high. So in my opinion, not that we can't correct more, right? But, the fact that, for this to be the all-time high and the bull market's over, because I know a lot of people are scared of that right now, to reject this 786 and not put a new all-time high in for this bull market would be very, very strange. So I would more anticipate eventually, maybe we hang around here, bing-bong around a little bit, and then once you get above that 786 / doorway to higher prices, that's where you can fill that range up to about $4,500. Come attack that all-time high and get the bigger move to the upside. And if I pull up Bitcoin really quickly, you guys can see, I'll just pull that same exact I'll pull the same exact fib here from the all-time high down to the bear market low. Bada boom, right? What happens? We get the retracement. We reject the golden pocket. We flip the golden pocket. We come up to the 786. But once you, and we even lost it a little bit. But, you know, the chances of putting in a lower high on here to just continue a macro downtrend, that would be extremely bearish for Bitcoin, right? Like it would completely step on the 4-year cycle. It would really make no sense. But the more likely situation was that even if we wiggled around here, we would eventually flip that 786 and get new all-time highs to come. And Ethereum is essentially in a situation where it's come up, right? It's rejected a little bit. It's tapping on the door again. So once we flip that 786, that's really the key level to call for those new all-time highs on Ethereum, in my opinion. Because you can just see what happens, right? We wind up holding support on the 786. That invalidates the idea of a lower high coming in. I mean, even just breaking through it like this to flip it to support invalidates the fact that this would be a lower high. Not to mention that, like, it would be very weird for, like, the bull market to not put in a new all-time high, obviously. So there you go. That's kind of my thought process there on Ethereum. Those are the key levels I'm looking at. Nice, clean ranges. Bada boom. Right here. This is what I'd be looking at on Ethereum, right? If we get the bigger move to the downside, let's just say look for the bigger drop down to the value area low, getting closer to $3,000. But until then, right, we're just working our way into that volume profile. And if the lower high comes in, just remember, high likelihood area for that lower high to come in before the drop is going to be sitting between that golden pocket 786. So there you go. That is what we're looking at. Let's see. Let me catch some of these super chats. Yo, shout out to Golden. Unbelievable, bro. That was a $200 super chat for the mods. Said, Tony D, get me a Bitcoin address for each of the mods like we did last time, please. While you're at it, mods should post a Bitcoin address in the chat so people can tip them directly and bypass YouTube. Actually, shout out to Golden. Golden takes 30%. YouTube takes a percentage of those super chats. So, but yeah, shout out to Golden, bro. You are a menace. Drop those golden emojis in the chat right now if you guys love Golden. Unbelievable, man. Golden, you are a menace, bro. You are a menace. Golden always looking for the addresses. Come on, just give me your address. I won't send anything to it. He just sends you like 40 Bitcoin. It's like, what the heck? Shout out to Golden, man. We love you so much, dude. Let's see. Not a bad idea, Golden. Let's see. Golden emoji. Drop it in there. Yo, shout out to Nick Dunn. Dropping golden emoji in the chat. There we go. There's that golden waterfall, baby. There's that golden waterfall. Notice, guys, I'm not drinking the yellow drink today. That just felt weird with the golden waterfalls happening in chat. I don't know. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. We took a look at Ethereum. Let's go ahead and jump on into some of these other altcoins. And then we do have a bunch of Solana to give away. Don't forget that, guys. I don't know how many light goals we hit this week, but we should have some kind of Solana to be given away. We'll have to check. At Tony D, are you here? At Tony D, do we have what do we have for the giveaways this week? Let me know. Shout out to Wix Wi-Fi 89. Thank you for the super chat. Well, mods are thanking you for the super chat. Said mod appreciation, baby. Shout out to Wix Wife. Let's go. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate you. OG of the CandleMafia. Also, the OG CandleMafia couple with Wick 589. Let's get it. All right, let's take a look here. K Diggity said, as long as you write not P on the container big enough so everyone can read, nobody will be mistaken. Shout out to K Diggity. Oh God, guys. All right, let's see. Yo, the armadillo with the Santa hat. Shout out to Wick's wife. Yo, everybody's feeling festive today. I like it. But let's go ahead and jump on in here. Take a quick look at Solana here. Yesterday we were looking at Solana. I believe this is our Solana chart that we were watching. Let's see. What was yesterday? Yesterday was the 19th at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Solana. Let's see. Where is it? 5:45. Yeah, so we were bing-bonging around on this value area high. Very similar to Bitcoin, guys. Like, it's really funny. Like, even though they're different assets, like, they are in very similar situations, right? Because you have your upper value sitting up here, right? Your upper value area. Once we lost that, you look for that value area high to be your key level of support, which we did wind up wicking below, closing above, getting a little bit of a bounce, but then we wound up getting accepted back into the range where that next likely stop for Solana to go is going to be that POC. And then we started losing the POC. We didn't make it to the value area low here, and we are now potentially looking to try to pop up back above here. Yeah, this is a little hard to call just because let's check out some of this money flow here. Yeah, green dot on the 8-hour looking to print 30-minute money flow. I will say if we're going to get a continuation up here, guys, and you're going to see something like this head and shoulders, right, that's going to kind of break out for you. If you're going to get something to play like that in a rough manner, flip that value area high to support before getting a bigger break to the upside. Again, I wouldn't trade just based off of the head and shoulders, but it could be interesting to look at if we do get that break to the upside. But I will say this, 30-minute money flow looking to cross over into the green with our 8-hour green dot printing, right? When you see that 8-hour green dot, I almost always automatically go down to that 30-minute time frame, look for the money flow, see what it's doing. If it's getting close to crossing over into the green, this 30-minute money flow crossover could signify the continuation to the upside. Now, would this mean that Solana's about to go to new all-time highs? I wouldn't necessarily say that, right? It could potentially indicate a continuation locally, right? That 30-minute trend may be able to continue to the upside, but we have to be careful of potential lower highs and breaks of structure to the downside. Why is that? Well, very simply put, actually, let's see here. I'm kind of just basing this off what the money flow looked like on Ethereum. Yeah, the longer-term money flow is crossing into the red. So, again, unless we just fake out and hashtag bull market out of here, and that was the low, which isn't impossible, from a binary perspective, once we see that trend back to the upside, you do have to be a bit careful of the, let me get rid of some of these. There we go, right? You do have to be careful of potential continuations to the downside, because if that the money flow indicates a longer-term trend, doesn't mean you can't get bounces to the upside, but if you get those bounces to the upside, you have to be careful to put in lower highs and continue to lower prices. Now, where is that lower high likely to come in at? I did not mean to line that up, but funny enough, right, your golden pocket is confluent with your previous value area low. This is the key level of resistance, especially if we get out of this value area and we wiggle our way up. That value area low, golden pocket confluence, is going to be a key level of resistance to look at, because we know if we're going to put in a lower high, right, and continue to the downside, breaking structure, once again, to lower prices, the high probability area to put that lower high in is between the golden pocket and the 786 Fibonacci retracement. Now, that was a local golden pocket retracement. Technically, if we pull from the absolute high to the low, this value area, I love the confluence on these value area lows, right? So here's key levels to the upside for Solana. Value area low, golden pocket confluence. This is the full golden pocket retracement sitting between 233.41 and 228.98. Right? Then you have confluence here with your 786 POC and even your value area high. But we don't know if price is going to get the big bounce here to put in to put in that full 786 retracement, right? We don't know if the rejection is going to happen at the golden pocket, the 786, or even if we're going to get up to that full retracement, right? We might just go ahead and put in the local retracement, right? And this is kind of where, this is kind of hard to kind of teach, right? Because if you come up here, right, we get those bearish confirmations, you might say, like, well, hey, that could be the area where you put the lower high in and continue the aggressive downtrend. But you could wick up to that 786. So this is why I trade based off confirmations, right? If we come up here and there's no short opportunity, no confirmations to take a short, we sit on our hands, wait to go to the POC, up to the value area high. 786 is sitting there, and we know overall between the golden pocket and the 786 is a big zone, right? Or not a big zone, but the key area where it has the highest probability of putting in a lower high. So this is where we look for the shorts, right? If we break above that 786, I would sit on my hands and wait for the next key level where we know there's a high probability of a lower high, which would be this golden pocket value area low confluence. If there's no confirmation here, again, to put in a lower high and continue down, I would simply sit on my hands and wait to come up to the 786, right? And this is all beautifully in line with your volume profile. So essentially, if you're just trading these volume profiles, you're kind of trading that same theory, right? But these are going to be the key levels that I would look at for potential lower highs. Golden pocket value area low locally, sitting between 207 and 210. 786, value area high. I would probably put significance on that level as well. So yeah, those are the kind of the levels that I would look at for potential lower highs. If you want to keep it simple and you want to just, again, there's no guarantee we get the full retracement, but, technically from a longer term perspective, this golden pocket, this 786 are like really the big levels that you'd be looking at. Once you break that 786, probably going to take the highs in my opinion, come up into our next targets, sitting between 285 and 276. If we get accepted back into this range, now don't get it twisted here, guys. If we get sucked back into this range and lose this POC, value area lows your key level of support at 171. But we'll see what happens here. It's kind of weird. We front ran these value area lows on a lot of stuff, which is honestly not common. We don't typically do that. Typically, you will get the full fill of the range. But we'll have to see what happens. I would watch the 30-minute money flow crossover into the green for Solana to indicate if this trend is going to continue up to those next resistance levels. So there you go. Yo, shout out to Wick589 said, yeah, I guess mods are okay. Let's see. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hands. Shout out to you, bro. Message was deleted by Darren Does Things. Edward, what did you say? Shout out to Edward Diamond Hands. What did you say, bro? What did you say? Oh, my God. Dang, I wish I knew what you said, man. I can't even unhide it. I can't even see it. Darren outranks me in the mod section in the chat, I guess. But yeah, shout out to Edward. Appreciate you, bro. I know the mods do as well. I wish I could read that out loud, but there's no way for me to see it. That's weird. I can unhide hidden regular messages, but not super chats. That is an interesting detail. All right, let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Said, love you, fam. I'm headed to work. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Have an amazing night. Or should I call you Sarge? I think I'm calling you Sarge from now on. Shout out to Sergeant Kirk. Have a good night at work. We appreciate you for being here. And, thank you to, I forgot who said it, but someone reminded me that you were leaving. So shout out to Captain Kirk. Let's see. All right, let's continue on. What do you use for confirmation? Shout out to Andor. That is a very, very common question that I get. And the answer is it varies based off of every single situation, right? Every trade is going to be different. There's not like one thing that you can look at that it's like once you see this, you enter the trade and it'll play out. It really depends on so many different things. It depends on the situation. But I'll tell you this, right? On a golden pocket retracement, oftentimes what I look for are CVD divergences. And just in general, divergences, bearish and bullish divergences in general is kind of probably the simplest confirmation that I can get across to people without getting into like more advanced techniques. But oftentimes, right, like for a golden pocket retracement for like a short position, what I will look for into the golden pocket or 786, again, like I said, it really depends on the setup. Sometimes I'm looking for a swing failure pattern. Sometimes I'm looking for divergences. Sometimes I'm looking for bearish CVD. There's a million different things that we can look for. It really depends on that specific price action and that individual situation. Every trade is different. But a lot of times on golden pocket retracements, like I even brought this up on my short position, from about $106,450. This was on Bitcoin, right? This was based off of a golden pocket retracement. I believe it was this. Where is the 106.4? So yeah, it was based off of this local golden pocket retracement, right? Once you come into that golden pocket retracement, what I was looking for here was bearish CVD, right? I have videos on the channel explaining exactly how to look for bearish CVD. I believe there's a whale on the thumbnail if you want to look for that. It's probably from a while ago. I think I dropped it in May. I don't remember exactly what year it was, to be quite honest with you. Weird that I remember the month, but not the year. But hey. But yeah, what I looked for here was bearish CVD, right? And we did wind up getting that in here. But again, that's not going to be the exact same situation. We're not always going to look for the same confirmation on every trade. But we do talk about that more in the premium Discord, where I kind of update everybody on what I'm looking for on each individual trade. But yeah, it really does vary. But hopefully that cleans it up, right? Like a real simple confirmation that you can look for if you're like new to the charts. Let's say you have a key level, right? You have a golden pocket, you have a daily level, you have a negative point of control, and then you have a an anchored VWAP coming up, right? Let's say you have a confluent area of support here. I also check out the beginner series. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about here as far as confluence and key levels, all this stuff, watch the beginner series. I teach you everything from scratch. But let's say you have a confluent area of support and prices coming into that key level, right? A very simple confirmation you can look for. Now, I don't always just trade alone based off this confirmation, but one of the easiest things to spot on the chart, in my opinion, for a beginner is going to be a bullish divergence, right? In this case, for a level of support, right? Where you're looking for lower lows on your price action and higher lows on your momentum waves, right? And what you're basically looking for here is on your momentum waves or your RSI. I know not everybody can afford to have premium indicators. Don't worry. You could still trade if you can't get Market Cipher B. If you do want to get Market Cipher B, you can check the link in the description down below and save using our discount code. But if you can't, you can always look for divergences on the RSI. Just search RSI on your chart. It's totally free. Lower lows on your price action into a key level of support with higher lows on your momentum waves or your RSI, right? So you basically want to create, the lower lows to come in, higher lows to come in. So eventually, just to identify what you're looking for here, you want these lines to, imaginarily eventually intersect, right? That's a bullish divergence. And when you can see that happening at a key level of support, oftentimes there's a high probability that you'll at least get some kind of reaction. Now, How high will it go? What should your targets be? This is obviously takes a long time to learn. Trading is a skill that requires a lot of time to learn. Like anything else that is rewarding in life, you have to spend time actually learning the in and outs of it. It's never going to be as easy as just looking for bullish divergences and making $1 million. There's a lot more to it. But that's a simple explanation of kind of what a simple confirmation that I look for at key levels, right? Like, for example, here, if you come on down, actually, if you look at the 15-minute, right, what happens here? You put a lower low into your key level of support. And I think you did have 15-minute bull divs here, right? Higher lows on your momentum waves, lower lows on your price action into that key level of support. That's where you would look to take the long position back into the value area low. Once you hold that as support, you're going to be looking to work your way up to that POC, which might be what we're doing right now. Flip that POC, go to the value area high. That's what a value area trade looks like for me. Entering in on a deviation below, looking to get back into the range. TP1 at the POC, TP2 at the value area high. Obviously, there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of, things that you have to understand, but from a top-down view, just like overview of what I look for, that's kind of how I trade, right? On a very surface level. And then even like if you go down to a lower time frame, you could probably even find lower time frame bullish divergences as well, right? If you come down to like the 1 minute here, let's see if we had it's like you have lower lows on your price action, right? And the lower the time frame you go, oftentimes the more of a sniper entry you can get, right? You have the lower lows on your price action. Again, daily naked point of control being a huge level of support. Lower lows on your price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. And then you start seeing that money flow creep up. That's letting you know the trend might continue up. That's where I'm taking shots at longs, right? I do have other confirmations I like to stack on top of that. But from a simple perspective, most bullish and bearish divergences, even if you don't know how much they're going to play out, more often than not, when you have a bearish divergence or a bullish divergence, they play out in some kind of manner, right? Like in some form or fashion, right? Like even here. Higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves, right? You come down, retracement, drop to the downside, right? And it wound up coming back up, right? But that bear div does do something. It is not often that a bear div gives you nothing or a bull div gives you nothing. But again, you have to understand the context of the market. There's a lot of things you have to understand. But I would recommend if you're new to trading or you're just tuning in for the first time, you just found Frankie Candles for the first time, go into bar replay mode. Go look for those bullish type. Find key levels, right? Watch through the beginner series. Go into bar replay mode before you even load up a trading account. Go into bar replay mode after you watch all those videos and use what I teach you in those videos to find key levels of support in previous price action, right? And then look for the confirmations, right? And just see how it plays out, right? It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of time. And even then, once you load up that trading account, those emotions start to creep in because you're playing with real money. And like I always say, the emotions and the trading psychology is always going to be more important than the technicals. Every single time. You can have a 100% winning strategy. If you don't know when to take profit, when to move your stop loss, how to not be greedy, how to not get scared, how to not move your stop losses when you're not increase your risk over time. There's a million different things when it comes to psychology that you need to learn, and that is really what turns you profitable. If I had a 100% hit rate in the Discord and every trade wound up playing out, there's a lot of people that would take those trades that would still lose the trade because they don't know how to manage it, right? They might think, well, hey, that's nice. We hit the key level, but where should I pay myself? A lot of people are just going to get in here and then hold on for $1 million, right? And if you have a small trading account, it's very easy to do that because if you're up $20, you're trying to think to yourself, you're like, well, hey, I don't really care about $20. I'd rather risk it and hope that it just yeets up and I can rip it up to 100K. But that's not what you want to do. You have to develop the skill of TA, develop the skill of managing your emotions, and build that over time. Don't worry about the money, right? Don't worry about the money. You can always increase your capital, right? Focus on the skill of trading, and the money will come. Do not chase money. Money will run away from you if you try to chase it. But anyway, let's continue on here. Let's see. $20 is $20. Shout out to All Set. Absolutely, right? Like, there's a lot of people out there, right? When I first started trading, I would start to I had that mentality where I was like, $50, $20, like, it's not going to change my life. But then I started to think to myself, well, hey, like, at a regular job, right? Like, you make that in an hour, maybe less than that in an hour, maybe more than that in an hour. Everyone's different, obviously. But, you start to think about that. Well, like, hey, like $20 after just hitting a button on my screen, understand that those small $20 wins, as you grow your account over time, or once you understand trading and you add more capital to your trading account, it's just as easy to make 1% on $100 as it is to make 1% on $100,000, right? But obviously you make more profit on a $100,000 account, right? So focus on the percentages, focus on the skill of trading, Focus on the confirmations, the confluence, the key levels, understanding the skill of trading. Do not get into trading to get rich quick. That is not how it works. But if you can figure it out, and you could learn from someone like me or whoever you want to learn from, if you can learn this skill and you dedicate the time and you sacrifice the time to spend actually learning the skill, it is the most rewarding thing on earth, as you can imagine. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Yo, shout out to Crypto J. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat. Said, Feliz Navidad. Frankie is the GOAT. 8 to 30-minute money flow in the green and printing a green dot on the 8-hour and the 16-hour. Well, hey, I guess we're going to have to go ahead and take a look at Cardano real quick. Let's go ahead and jump on over to ADA or ADA, as I don't think anybody calls it. So what do we have happen here, right? So on Cardano, we got that drop down to the value area low, golden pocket. We wound up getting down below it, retesting it bearish in a bearish manner, getting a drop down to that value area high /786 retracement, slipped into the range very slightly, but wound up actually holding above. Just wound up sticking that as support. Let me go ahead and check out that 8-hour green dot, which is printing in all of its glory here, with that 30-minute money flow crossover into the green on the reclaim of that value area low. Woo! Woo! I don't hate that. At least for a local move up, I don't hate that. And you guys can just see like how all this price action is just very similar. Bitcoin, Ethereum, like a lot of these altcoins and Bitcoin, right? Like almost everything is in this like weird inverse head and shoulders. But you can see we have this doorway to higher prices, flip it to support, money flow crossing over into the green. Now understand, right? Like we look at this inverse head and shoulders. I would never just trade this alone, right? Like I would never just like look at this as like, well, hey, this is I'm going to long this, right? Like we look at other things, right? The fact that you have your money flow crossing over into the green here, it makes you anticipate a potential continuation of the trend to the upside, right? What were we looking at before? Was it Solana? Well, yeah, Solana money flow looking to cross over into the green, right? That would be a very similar thing we would anticipate, right? A continuation of that trend to the upside, especially the fact that we got back into this doorway to higher prices. Yeah, now we are potentially looking at, maybe get accepted back into this range and get a bigger move to the upside. Let me get rid of these fib levels real quick. Tap daily naked point of control. This is the POC, the range, I believe. Yeah, POC, the range. And just in the grand scheme of things here, guys, right? Like, everyone's like, oh, my God, everything's going to zero. Massive, massive. I really want to be explicit about this, guys. When an asset gets a 320% pump to the upside, if you are freaking out about a 42% dump after that, I highly recommend taking a step away, taking a deep breath, and trying to like regroup, right? This is not scary. This should not be scary. I know it feels scary, but I would recommend if you cannot stomach these pullbacks after massive moves up, you got to reassess kind of your goals, right? You have to have a little bit of a longer-term mindset. This is not like it's crazy that people are like, oh, my God, bear market, right? Like, no. This asset got a massive move up. This is crypto, right? Like, maybe, and I know what this feels like, guys. Like, I was at this point in my career one time, right? It gets scary, but you have to be able to endure this. Otherwise, you're going to be in a situation, right, where you want to buy the things that are pumping. You buy in at the top, and then they wreck you, and you're like, oh, my God, I'm going to sell. Everything's going to zero. And then you're not going to want to buy back in until it starts pumping again. And you're in that reverse ping pong game. You're on the wrong side of that ping pong game that I just mentioned, where you buy here, you lose money on the drop, and then you buy back in after it pumps, and you're just like eating up your money. You lose money here, you buy back in at a higher price, so you have less Cardano. It's like a lot of people fall into this trap. Oh, Mrs. Candles, you're back. You're back. I gave you that money after the live stream yesterday to go pick up my new chair, and you never came back. I'm just wondering, do you still have the money? Or did... No? Oh, do you know where the money went? All right, let me see the hand. Let me see the hand. All right, no new jewelry just yet. So, okay, this looks like a new outfit you got on. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Pump Bitcoin, baby. Wow, that's the best your hand smelled in a while. I like it. Wow, she doesn't really want to talk, guys. She looks suspicious. I'm not going to lie. She didn't bring me any money back. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Hopefully that hand sniff gives us a bump to the upside. But yeah, you guys want to keep that in mind, right? Like you don't want to be stuck in that reverse game of ping pong. Be very careful. Be very careful. This is not scary. And it's funny because, again, I always say in a bull market, you kind of know we're in a bull market because of the always got to sniff. Yeah, we got to get that hand sniff in. It's good for the markets. It's good for the markets. But You know, in a bull market, everybody gets super confident about, like, you just see, like, random people. They're like, obviously the bull market's over, man. And it's like, I don't know why you would think that, right? And it's like the confidence that people speak with that makes me understand, like, hey, this person probably hasn't been around for very long. Because if you think this is like a signal for a bear market, now, like I said, does this mean that this can never be the top? No, right? It's definitely it's not impossible. But if you think that this push to the downside is cause for, like, this means we're in a bear market, you got to take a deep breath. And I want to save you a lot of lost money. You don't want to let people scare you out of your bags. A lot of people are going to be, like, very bearish here. Be very careful. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, I appreciate Darren Does Things for appreciating us and you, and the appreciation from you and the Mafia is much appreciated, Frankie. Well, Crypto Billy, I appreciate you appreciating Darren for appreciating you and me. I appreciate you for appreciating everybody's appreciation. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you so much for that super chat. All super chat revenue is going to the mods today, guys. So shout out to Crypto Billy, showing love. Hey, wait, that's kind of like insider trading. Billy's pumping the super chats. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Billy, bro. What? Oh, whoa, Mrs. Candles just popped in and said, hi, Crypto Billy. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Let's see here. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. It already played out. It broke the neckline yesterday. Shout out to TBJ. I'm not 100% sure exactly what you're referring to. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shout out to HFG. Billy is the best. I agree with you. All right, let's see. Crypto Billy dropping the hands in the chat. Let's go. But yeah, so for Cardano here, let's see. Yeah, like even here, right? Like you can say, like, okay, you broke structure here. You closed the not even really. Not really. But right, you broke structure to the downside here. This isn't like bear market structure breaking. This isn't like a significant, like, sure, you could see a continuation of the trend down here from here, but like when you zoom out, right? Like this is not the most horrifying thing in the world, right? Like you can come down lower and still maintain bullish market structure. But anyway, let's see here. So yeah, for Cardano, oh, she's pushing up. She's pushing up, baby. Yeah, so like next key levels I'd be looking at on Cardano, if it does continue to the upside, I would just naturally, let's pull up the 4-hour real quick. I would naturally be looking from the high to the low here. So yeah, this golden pocket. Let me actually pull up Cardano on a clean chart. So let me see. Let me pull this as a range. Pull from this local high to the low. Yeah. Just pull it from the actual high. So yeah, I mean, I would argue, right, if you're able to get above this level here at about 95 cents, get above here, right? We have that local range that we just looked at, but if you can get up in here, I would probably be looking for at least a move to the POC, potentially into the golden pocket. So like just the higher time frame levels. Again, can you reject local levels? Yes, you can, right? There could be some local levels of resistance. Maybe you don't make it up that high, but just for the general sense of things here, get above this value area low, look to push into the POC. And I would play this like a volume profile, because if we're going to put a macro lower high in, right, continue the downtrend, I would look for it to either come in at the POC golden pocket, get above that. I would look at this gold value area high, 786. Once you break that 786, I'd probably be looking higher. But let's see. 4-hour money flow starting to work its way back to the upside here. Let's check the 8-hour. 8 hours back in the red, right? So, yeah, I would take money flow with a grain of salt right now in a bull market. Yeah, daily money flow coming up. But that green dot, I think if you get that green dot on the daily, I think there's a possibility you continue up here. I'd be targeting the POC at about $1.07, up to the 786 at about $1.20. And that would be a high likelihood area to potentially put in a lower high if you're going to continue the downtrend. If not, your key level to flip to support is the 786 at $1.21. Bada boom. So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at on Cardano. Weekly red dot printing, right? So let's see. Let's see. BTC dump incoming. Hey, let's see if we can get to 80K. Let's see. Nothing but love for the CandleMafia. Shout out to Elite Ways EZ, another OG of the CandleMafia. Super chats, missed super chats. Shout out to Darren Dusting. Thank you for pointing that out, brother. Let's take a look here. Yo, shout out to Thesis himself. Let's go. I don't know if that sound effect worked, but said I have the flu and Tyler Durden is fake. P.S. Scalping's mathematically superior to swings. Hashtag onions over tomatoes all day. Thesis himself. I couldn't agree with you more. Onions over tomatoes 1,000% of the time. 1,000% of the time. Tomatoes have no flavor. Onions have a lot of flavor. Your partner might not like it because your breath smells, but onions over tomatoes till I die. Shout out to Thesis himself. Thank you for the super chat, bro. We appreciate you so much. Scalping is mathematically superior to swinging. Yeah, if you can scalp, there's an argument for that. There is an argument for that, and I honestly, I don't know if I'd be able to pick. If I had to pick scalp or swing, I don't know. It's a difficult one for me. But shout out to Thesis himself. Onions over tomatoes every single day. Darren Does Things, thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, Merry Christmas, Frankie, Tony, Mrs. Candles, Phoebe, Mafia, and my other mod, Familia. Appreciative of everyone we have in this community. Hashtag GG, hashtag FYP. I double down on that. Darren Does Things. Darren Does Things. DDTDD. Darren Does Things, double down. There you go. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Thank you so much, bro. We appreciate you and everything you guys do here. All the mods, we appreciate everything you guys do here for the channel. Keeping the chat under control because sometimes we get wild out here. And sometimes you even got to wrangle me. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Oh, we read that. Appreciate you for appreciating me, appreciating you, appreciating everybody's appreciation. Shout out to everybody super chatting. We appreciate you guys so much. And I know the mods do as well. Onions in the chat, baby. Onions in the chat. Onions make you cry. That is true. That is true. Raw onions are tasty. I'm weird. Shout out to Lasers. I don't think you're weird at all, bro. I agree with you. P-Rad said Darren is the man. Absolutely. All right, so let's continue on. Let's take a look at some of these other altcoins. Then we're going to give away some Solana, guys. We're feeling festive. Let's take a look at Fetch.ai. Let's take a look. Take a sip of that Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. Warm Aztecian Cactus Moss Water at that. Shout out to Tony D. Dropping the singles in the chat, baby. That means he wants me to dance. I won't do that on the internet. I can't do that on the internet. YouTube will ban us. I'm quite the twerker. I'm not going to lie. Oh, he's making it rain. Tony, I'm not twerking. Get out of here. I'm not twerking. I'm not going to do it. Don't send another $1. I might have to do it if you send another $1. Don't do it. Seriously, don't send another $1. I'm kidding. I'm not doing it. Shout out to Tony D. No, stop. I'm not twerking. Anyway, the hips are going to start moving. I'm not going to be able to stop myself. Shout out to Tony. Tony's trying to juice up the mods. The mod super chats. Hashtag Givers Gain. Shout out to Papa's Crypto. Yeah, you guys are crazy, man. This is what I love. The amount of super chats we get when we show love back to the mods is insane, and it literally melts my heart. I'm not going to lie. Shake that fib. Good Lord, somebody call the feds on Tony. Tony, you're going to jail for that one, pal. Anyway, continuing on. Let's take a look at let's take a look at Fetch here. Not Fred. Fetch. All right, let's take a look. All right, well, bada boom, bada bing. Tony D with the $50 super chat. Hello. Shout out to Tony D. Bro, stop super chatting the channel. What are you doing? I'm going to reimburse you, bro. I got to reimburse Tony now. Shout out to Tony D. Let's go. Dropping some love to the Mafia. Or the mods, I should say. Which are Mafia. But anyway, let's take a look here at... Tony, you're crazy for that, bro. Let's take a look here, right? So, actually, I'll be honest, didn't really hold this 786 POC. Came down to the value area high. I'm going to get rid of these. These are now somewhat invalidated. But yeah, this is the situation a lot of the altcoins are in, right? Little breakout, deviation above the range, back to the POC, back to the value area low, back to the POC, back to the value area high, back to the POC, back to the value area high. Breakout. You look to come into that value area low of the previous range, doorway to higher prices, key resistance until proven otherwise. And then on the way back down, you look at that value area high as key support. You get a little bounce. Once you get accepted back into this range, you look to go to the POC and the value area low. We just barely front ran that value area low. I wonder if this is accurately pulled. I bet you kind of two ranges you can look at here. Probably look at that as well. It's probably a deviation below that low. Yeah. But for the most part, I mean, this is your range. Value area low at $1.10. POC at $1.30. Value area high at $1.54. If you remain, I mean, now we're back above the POC. We hold above this POC. I would look for $1.54 to be the next stop for Fetch.ai. If we lose that POC once again, remember the POC acts as a magnet, right? You lose it. Sometimes you do stick around to this POC, right? So can get a little confusing here, but if we hold it, very simple target of the $1.54. If we lose it, very simple target of about $1.10. Pulling up the daily. Yeah, you actually bounce right off this daily level. Come on. Come on. Is that it? Yeah. So, yeah, tap that daily almost perfectly, right? So, like I said, you know, support and resistance, typically value area lows do get hit, right? But oftentimes you do want to look at this stuff as a zone, right? So that would be your key zone of support to the downside. So, yeah, I would be looking at this volume profile. Eventually, you know, we fill it back down to the low, deviate below. Could just look to respect this range. Once we get above the value area high, that's where I'd look for. You know, same thing we looked at here. Break out of the range, look to get gravitated towards the value area low. So, if we get back up, I would simply look to get attracted to that value area low above. Doorway to higher prices, $2.11. However, looking at your money flow here, if we're not going to fake out into the red and back into the green, if we're just going to get this money flow to continue out and give us a bigger drop to the downside, you would anticipate your trend to likely continue to lower prices. In which case, I would probably look at this as your key zone of resistance. Work your way back up to the value area high. Maybe you deviate. Golden pocket 786 is where you would anticipate that lower high to come in before coming down back to the value area low with a potential deviation, right? So these are the key levels I'd be looking at on Fetch. Yeah, that's it. I think that's all I got for Fetch.ai. See, weekly. Yeah, weekly red dot printing. I mean, this weekly red dot's printing on a lot of stuff here. Hopefully it just gets stepped on #bull market, but it is there. Keep it in mind. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Gen Z. Let's take a look at Zeus. Thank you for the super chat, bro. And yes, I told Gen Z we were going to take a look at Zeus on the live stream today in the premium Discord. Didn't have time, so now we got to cover it for him on the regular live stream. Let's see. Well, okay, wow, it's been a while since we've looked at this, right? So the last key levels were down here. We held that. Got the bigger rip to the upside. Came to your doorway to higher prices. Flipped that. Came to the POC. Flipped that. Came to the value area high. Deviated above. Back into the range. Deviated above. Back into the range. Back to the POC. Back to the value area. I mean, volume profiles, right? Like, this is why I love trading like this, guys, because you don't have to worry about the mess in between, right? You just set an alert for the break of this level. Wait for the deviations. Look for your short entries to go back into the range. Back towards that POC. Right? Deviate again. You kind of faked out here. It's a little bit of a wonked move. Back to that POC. Lose the POC. Back to the low. I'll say this. I'll pull another range here. I will pull this as a second range. So, yeah, you know, overall range, value area high sitting at 88 cents. That is your key level of resistance, the level that you really want to get above. Perfect confluence with that 786. So this is definitely... You got to get above this 786 value area high. That'd be a huge level to get above, in which case I would probably be looking, you know, obviously would be a deviation above your high, which could be a short opportunity. However, like once you start flipping that 786, I'd probably be looking at higher prices. However, we'll have to see what happens and how price reacts at those levels. But right now we're potentially looking to reject this golden pocket. But for the most part, right, if we were going to look at this, right, and I will say here, I mean, let's take a look at the 4 hour. Money flows back in the green, coming up into the green on the 4 hour, so this doesn't look horrible. But the 8 hour is getting a fresh crossover into the red. So based off the 8 hour money flow being in the red, anticipating the potential continuation of the downtrend, this whole zone between 82 and 88 cents would be the highest probability area to put in a lower high if you're going to break structure to lower prices. Again, I hate to beat the dead horse here. These 8 hour money flows oftentimes are fake outs in a bull market, but you have to keep them in mind. So you have to at least be open to the idea of a lower high coming in here, right? Because if it does come in and you're just looking for price to continue pumping, you can't capitalize on making money to the downside, right? So as traders, we make money whether the price goes up or down. We're going to be looking at those short opportunities. I'll even make this a larger range, right? Like this is your key level of resistance. You get above this, I'd be looking at higher prices. As long as you don't get bearish confirmations on the deviation, you flip this to support, I'd be looking for higher prices. But until then, definitely at a point where you could put in a lower high and continue down based off this money flow crossover into the red. Yeah, 4 hour, I will say the money flow is so choppy lately. Like the past couple of months, the money flow is so choppy. But that's, it is binary information on the charts. So we have to take it into account. So that's what I would look at. Pull an anchored VWAP here real quick. Okay, that's not that significant. Yeah, that's what I would look at. I wouldn't even really pay much attention to the anchored VWAP. But that's what I look at. That's your major range. You lose this value area low, you're simply looking to come back down here. I can get rid of these boxes because these are already tapped. Go ahead, get rid of this. Boom. Right, you lose this value area low. I would probably just be looking to come down to this value area high once again. Same exact thing that you would look at. Or no, we never, same thing you would look at here, right? Breakout, come back down, value area highs, key support. You get the bounce, get back into the range, go back down to the value area low. So those are the levels, right? Lower value area starting at 50 cents, down to the POC at 42 cents, down to the value area low at 41 cents. But until you break out of this range, I would just look for this to get respected for the most part. So there you go. Let's see. Oh, that's Zeus. I don't know why I thought we were still looking at Fetch. It's all just candles on a chart to me. And Nas, let's take a look at Nas real quick. Or Nosana. Let's take a look here. All right, so we did get the break out of the lower range. Flip that POC to support. Got pushed into the upper range. Doorway 2 higher prices. Or in this case, just doorway 2 higher prices. Right? Go up to the POC. Tried to make a run for the value area high. Couldn't quite make it with a drop to the downside holding. Yeah, golden pocket holding as support. So this was kind of the first level of support. I don't know why there's no blue box on it. But there's your golden pocket. You're holding that as of right now. If you wind up getting below the value area low again, you lose the golden pocket, I would very simply and very logically be looking down towards the 786 previous value area high confluence. That is your key level below. Until then, you have an opportunity to hold the support on the value area low. Next target would be the POC of the range. Let's pull that fib real quick from the low or from the high to the low. No, not a significant confluence there, if I'm being honest. Let's pull the range here. So yeah, I would be cautious around POC locally, value area low, and macro POC. This would be an important level to get above, right? If you do continue pushing up, you hold this value area low, flip that POC. That's where I think you can continue to move up, at least to the value area high at 416. Get above that. At that point, you're above the POC of the macro range, right? If I just delete this real quick. At that point, right, you get above that value area high. You're already above the POC, and you could just be working your way up to the macro value area high at 531. But I would be very careful, right? If this bearish scenario plays out, right, maybe we get the bigger pullback on Bitcoin. The alts are going to completely bleed. This would be a huge level to look at for a rejection, in my opinion. I wish there was golden pocket confluence here. There probably is locally, just not from the absolute high here. So there you go. Shout out to Gen Z. That is what I'd be looking at on NAS from a market cipher perspective. Probably looking very similar to everything else. Yeah, 8-hour money flow crossing over into the red. So again, a lower high to come in is not impossible, assuming we're not just going to fake that out in a bull market once again, which is obviously does happen. Big resistance level to put in a lower high, in my opinion. If you break above that, the last chance you have to make a lower high, in my opinion, is going to be the value area high right here. All right, golden pocket as well, but it's kind of close to that first zone. So get above here. Could put a lower high in there as well. So that's what I would look at, Gen Z. Hopefully that helps you out. And I wish Market Cipher looked different, but it looks the same as everything else, to be honest. I think there is a possibility, right? Locally, in like shorter time frames, or at least just even looking at the daily here, like that next daily green dot, if you could hold above this value area low and print that daily green dot, I think it's a high probability you come into these zones. On a lot of this stuff, right? A lot of the stuff kind of just swept the lows and got back into their volume profiles. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Flight Vision. Yo, shout out to you, man. Said, found some change in the couch. Hashtag not my puffer. Yo. Coming up with a nick, like a slang term for an inhaler and calling it a puffer is crazy. That is hashtag not my puffer. I am going to use that from now on. Shout out to Flight Vision. I'm calling inhalers puffers from now on. Yo, let me get that puffer. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for supporting the mod, man. Yeah, definitely not my puffer. I will tell you that much. All right, let's see. Shout out to J-Rock Smash. Thank you for the super chat. Said, sending some mod love to the greatest mods on YouTube. Shout out to J-Rock Smash. We appreciate you, bro, and I know the mods do as well. Thank you for sending that super chat. And Wick589 said, remember, risking is investy, guys. Risking is very investy. Shout out to hi Tunes. Shout out to Wick589. Thank you for the super chat, bro. That's what happens when I try to be a poet like you, Wick. Wick is a professional poet, by the way, guys. He's actually like semi-famous. Hopefully, I'm not blowing up your spot there, Wick. But yeah, just Google Wick589. He's actually a semi-famous poet. Yo, and shout out to High Tunes said, love BTC, but I'm bullish on you, Frankie. Shout out to High Tunes. I appreciate you. But speaking of being bullish on stuff, guys, we got to get into some of these Solana giveaways. Shout out to Tony D. I know you were here. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hand. Sorry, I missed a couple of super chats here. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hand says, I just started leverage trading. Most platforms not allowed in New York. I've learned so much from your videos and streams. I've made $5K this past week using everything you teach the Mafia. My previous super chat was $50. Add it to the piggy bank for the mods. Yo, shout out to Edward Diamond Hands. Guys, I have to say something. I lied to you guys for the first time ever. I said I only had $240 left. Turns out I actually have more than that. So shout out to Edward Diamond Hands. We're going to throw some money for you, bro. Shout out to you. And listen, bro, I'm just here giving the information. You took the initiative to go out, study those videos, practice, and then actually execute what you learned. And you had the risk management, and you controlled your emotions, which is really the reason why you made that $5,000. So pat yourself on the back, bro. Bing bong. Let's go. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hands. Congrats on your win, bro. This is why I do what I do. It's for texts. Guys, I'm a boomer now. I think I'm officially a boomer. It's for chats like that. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hands. I appreciate you so much, bro. And hopefully I can continue to give it the rest of the Mafia alongside continuing to give it to you, this secret sauce, so you can continue making money, making money trading Bitcoin, whether the price is going up or down. Crypto Billy said, Golden be out and about, having dinner with his spouse, still finding time to support Giver's Gain. Is his Lord? Is he Satoshi? We don't know. Just happy he's here making us grow. Shout out to Crypto Billy and shout out to Golden. Absolutely, Billy. I 100% agree with you, bro. Golden is, yeah, I don't know. We've talked to Golden. I have video chatted with Golden. Unless it was AI, I know him technically now after talking to him, but I just still want to ask the question, Golden, who are you, bro? Who are you? Every time you ask someone like that, they're like, I'm just a guy. We know you're not just a guy. We know that you're, I don't know, maybe he's Santa Claus. Shout out to Golden, bro. We really do appreciate you so much, bro. All jokes aside, we really do appreciate you so much. You're a huge part of this family. And shout out to Crypto Billy. Showing appreciation for the appreciation for Golden. Shout out to you guys. But with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and start giving away some of this Solana, guys. We got to get into these giveaways. Let's pull up the giveaway picker. Bada boom, bada bing. Do we have the at Tony D? Tony D is in Tony D is in New York. I think he's probably in the stream if I had to guess. But if he is not here, we're gonna have to come up with a I don't know how many like goals that we hit today. Tyler Jordan, do you happen to know? I don't think we hit a bunch of them last week. We gave away like $500 in Solana, maybe $400 in Solana. You in chat, bruh? Shout out to Tony D. Just need to know like goals / amount for giveaways. But we will be giving away 10 bags of Cardano. I think we're probably just gonna switch it to the Solana giveaways just because it's easier. We give bigger bags. It's less. Yeah, I don't think we hit any light goals this week. Yikes! I have not. Shout out to Michael. If did anyone drop the? Let me see here. Did anybody drop the link to that video? Let's see. Come on. There we go. Okay, Tony D might be MIA. Let's see. Let's see. Does anybody know, at Mods, does anybody know the video for the giveaway this week? 13 like goal hit this week. Shout out to Crypto Maxi. What are we at right now? We are at 522. Yikes. 1,000 is the like, or 1,000 is the goal. Yes. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Can you grab that link, Darren, and drop it in the chat? If you can, I would greatly appreciate it. And then once Darren drops that in the chat, guys, all you got to do is click the link, smash the like button, and leave a comment on the video. I highly recommend that you watch the video. Actually, wait, new all-time high. I mean, it's fine. You could pick whatever video, Darren, whatever the last pre-record is usually what we do. We don't hit the like goals with Bitcoin when Bitcoin dumps. Tell Golden to pump it. Golden, send it to 100K. Send it back up to 100K. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate you, bro. Tony, you're good. Darren dropped the link. But Tony, do you? Yeah. So we know like goals. So we got 10 Cardano giveaways. Tyler's fired. Let's see. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me grab I will give you guys some time to go and hit the like and the comment on that video. I don't want to rug anybody. I'll give you a couple of minutes to get in here. Let me copy the link. Pull up the giveaway picker. And I will wait to refresh. Yo, Darren said, as Thesis said, Tyler is fake. Dang, Tyler is not even, he's just AI. Tyler is AI. Yo, shout out to Michael S. said, I don't need time. I like all the videos. Shout out to Michael S. Let's get it, baby. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Fight. Anyway, let's see here. Bada boom. No replies. Oh, let me drag this over here. All right, let's see what we got. Yo, shout out to K Diggity. He said, I only come here on Fridays because there's so much free stuff. All right, I'm just going to roll freestyle here. Guys. We're going to do the 10 Cardano giveaways, and then we're going to give away 5 Frankie Candles hats. We're going to give away 5 Frankie Candles hats to the Mafia just for the holidays. And who knows? Maybe we'll do a post. Maybe we'll do like a New Year's giveaway as well. All right, let's see here. Yeah, shout out to Crypto Maxi. We are going into the new year, we're going to redo how we do these giveaways. We're probably going to do it fewer, bigger giveaways, right? So we don't have to do like 10 tiny bags of Cardano. We'll do the light goals. And then, yeah, we want to try to figure out a way to make sure that you have to be in live chat to actually get the giveaway. I think that's going to be much better. Although not everyone can be here. Like maybe we'll do half and half. But we're going to figure out an easier way to do this. We're just going to restructure the giveaways. We're going to give away probably more stuff. We're just going to restructure the way we do it. Free hats for everyone in the premium Discord is what I heard. Shout out to Golden Child. Actually, I believe the first I forget who it was. The first members that got into Discord, a certain amount of people actually did get care packages from the Mafia. I think it was like a T-shirt and a Frankie Candles hat, and I wrote them all notes and stuff. We got like handwritten notes from me, thanking them for being in there. So we actually have done that before. All right, here we go. We'll just do 10 Cardano giveaways, and then we'll give away the Frankie Candles hats. All right, here we go. Winner number 1. I'm going to try to... come on. All right, here we go. Winner number 1, who's it going to be? We're going to fly through these, and we're going to get right to the hats here. XRP Army said, Asta Pasta. Shout out to you, bro. We're sending you a free bag of Cardano. Hit that free Discord. I think you've won giveaways before, so you know what to do. Shout out to you, man. Winner number 2, Dario the Degen said, let's see. LSLS, as we like to say. You're winner number 2, bro. We're going to send you some free Cardano. Hit that Discord, go to the Help Center, and claim your free giveaway. Winner number 3, awesome update, man. Thank you so much. Shout out to Mind. I appreciate you for dropping that like and the comment, bro. We're going to send you some free Cardano. We are the only channel that pays you to smash that like button. I'm just kidding. But shout out to Ranveer Kapoor. Says we might retest 94K. Let's go. You're winner number 4. Whether we retest 94K or not. Actually, you're getting free Cardano either way, bro. Let's get it. It's actually cheap now, though. So hopefully, probably a good chance it'll be higher in a couple weeks. Hopefully. Winner number 5, Crypto Minati. Shout out to Crypto Minati. He said, ready for the stream. Well, shout out to you, bro. I hope you're in the chat. You just won some free Cardano. Let's get it, baby. Let us know if you're in the chat. Let's see. We're going up from here. Shout out to Zgare. Shout out to you, bro. I hope so. All right. Here we go. Winner number 6. Who's it going to be? Scammer. Winner number 3. Winner number 6. Who's it going to be? Scammer. Winner number 6. Who's it going to be? Frankie for the win. Shout out to Tondo Yusuf. Shout out to you, bro. You're winner number 6, and you just had 2 scammers try to take your spot, but you pushed them out of the way, and you got that free Cardano. Hit the free Discord and claim your free prize. Shout out to Elite Crypto. Said, thanks, Frankie. Is that Elite Way ZZ in disguise? Shout out to Elite Crypto. No problem. I am here to dish out that sauce and, of course, give away free Cardano. You're winner number 7. Winner number 8, who's it going to be? Ancient G4J says, just want to comment this comment. That's all. Well, shout out to Ancient. You got some free Cardano. That comment that you commented just to comment, that's all. Wound up turning into some free money. There we go, bro. That was your winner number 8. Winner number 9, who's it going to be? Ruger. Hey, shout out to the Rugers out there. I don't know if that's your name or that's the thing you like to carry around with you. But shout out to Ruger. Said, fire video, Frankie. Well, shout out to Ruger, bro. I appreciate you for appreciating my video. So I'm going to show my appreciation by sending you some Cardano. I hope you appreciate it, bro. Hit that free Discord. Go to the giveaways, the Help Center, and claim your free prize. Winner number 10 for the Cardano giveaway, Mummy Rising. Said, LFG, bing bong. Let's go. Your winner number 10, bro. Scooted in right by the skin of your teeth. Cop that last bag of Cardano. Thank you for hitting the like buttons. Thank you for watching the content. Go to that free Discord. Claim your free prize. Shout out to Jack Harris. Says, love you, Frankie. You've taught me so much with the tutorials. Shout out to Jack Harris. If you guys want to start from zero, right, if you're starting from zero, go ahead and jump into the beginner series. Watch all those videos. I try to organize it all so you don't have to go hunt through all the channels. I put all the important stuff. We're going to populate it over time so you guys can go through that beginner series and kind of just get your bearings, right? From not knowing how to set up TradingView all the way to understanding how to actually place a trade. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hand. Says, it's rigged. It's rigged. Let's go. Yeah, shout out to Elite Way ZZ. Said, only subscribers must have watched, liked, and commented on the video beforehand. No more last-second entries. I think that'll probably be part of the new giveaways. We actually might think about moving the giveaways into the dining room or into the Discord or something like that as well. We're going to brainstorm about it. Actually, me and Tony are going to have a New York sit-down about that. But yeah, here we go. We got 5 Frankie Candles hats. All right, here we go. Free money, baby. Let's go. I only want a hat. Shout out to Wayne C. Well, here we go. We're rooting for you, Wayne. We got 5 Frankie Candles hats. We got many different colors. I don't know exactly what we give away. I think you might be able to pick. I'm not 100% sure. But let's go ahead and pick our first winner. Who's it going to be? Scammer. Winner number 1. Who's it going to be? Scammer. Winner number 1. Who's it going to be? Forgot to take profit. Shout out to Satoshi Glakamoto. I hate to see the context or the content of the comment. But we're happy you did it, bro, because hopefully you didn't take profits, but we're going to pay you in a Frankie Candles hat. And shout out to Satoshi Glakamoto. You've been here forever, bro. So I feel that you deserve this Frankie Candles hat. You know what to do. Get in that Discord and claim your free hat. Shout out to Satoshi Glakamoto. Here we go. Winner number 2. Cupcake Crypto. It says, bing bong. Shout out to you, bro. We're going to send you a Frankie Candles hat. I can't. Is that a cake? I think it's a cake emoji. Shout out to Bing Bong. Shout out to Bing Bong. Shout out to Crypto Cake. Anyway, shout out to Cupcake Crypto. We're sending you a Frankie Candles hat. Hit that free Discord. Go to the Help Center, and we're going to send you a free hat. I recommend this one. This is the navy blue Carhartt brown. This is my favorite one. Not going to lie. Tongue-tied me with that name for some reason. So here we go. Winner number 3. Who's it going to be? Fallout Crypto said H-Bar about to rip. Let's get it, bro. Shout out to Fallout Crypto, bro. We're going to send you a Frankie Candles hat. Go to that Discord. Claim your free prize. You do have 7 days, 1 week from today to claim your prize. But you have to put some kind of time limit on it. Otherwise, we have like a backlog forever. But yeah, hit that free Discord. Get your free Frankie Candles hat. Winner number 4. Who's it going to be? Scammer. We should start sending the scammers hats. Low key. Just to troll them. Shout out to Digipaji. I don't know how to say that name. I don't want to butcher it too much, but said awesome as always, boss. Shout out to you, bro. You're winner number 4. We're sending you a Frankie Candles hat. By the way, guys, these Frankie Candles hats it's a study. We had scientists do it. The Frankie Candles trading hat increases your win rate by a minimum of 30%. It's something about the way it like constricts your veins in your head. It actually like it's all scientific, but it will increase your win rate. Shout out to you, bro. Hit that free Discord and claim your hat. Winner number 5. Who's it gonna be? We're rooting for Wayne C. Come on, Wayne. Come on, Wayne. We got it. Here we go. Come on. Oh, Paris T9P said healthy correction. Shout out to Paris. Well, in case it's not a healthy correction, bro, and it just starts raining red candles, we're going to send you that Frankie Candles hat so that water doesn't get in your face. We can at least protect you from those red candles if it is not a healthy correction, but hopefully it is. And as you guys know, in a bull market, you don't want to panic on those dumps. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Shout out to everybody who won a giveaway. So, yeah, we haven't given away Frankie Candles hats in a while, so I wanted to drop some Frankie Candles hats. And like I said, guys, next week I am going to be traveling, right? So, stream schedule, I'm probably not going to be streaming next week for the most part. I will drop market updates if the market goes crazy. Maybe I'll go live if it's like an emergency or something like that. But the schedule will be off next week, but then we'll be back to it the week after that. If I don't see you guys in the live chat, have an amazing holiday, guys. And go spend some time with your family. Take a break from the charts. Rest your eyes. Let the price action play out. And, enjoy some time with your family and come back. The charts will be here when you get that, guys. There's always going to be another setup. But, yeah, with all that being said, shout out to V-Sun. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, mods. Thank you for what you do. Bing Bong, out of all the places during this time, this is the place to be. Shout out to V-Sun. We appreciate you guys. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody for tuning in and sticking around till the end of the stream. You guys are the absolute best. CandleMafia to the top. I'll see you guys later. That's all I got. I want to say see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. But, I don't know. I'll see you guys at some point next week. Hasta pasta. That's all I got. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Space shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
All right, one more hat. One more hat, guys. Let's do it. 2 more hats. We're doing 2 more hats. 2 more hats. We're giving away 7 Frankie Candles hats today. I don't know why I picked 7, but 2 more. Here we go. I actually got to run out of here. That's all I have time for. But here we go. Winner number 6, Walzo Nostro. Says crazy times. Well, hey, it's a crazy time to be in the Candle Mafia, and leave a comment because you're getting a free Frankie Candles hat. Let's go. Come on, Wayne C. Wayne C. We're fighting for you, bro. We're fighting for you. Here we go. Come on, Wayne C. Wayne C. Wayne C. Let's get it. Polar. I always see like a random assortment of letters, and I think it's a scammer. Shout out to Polar. Said, hey, boys and girls, happy Christmas. Well, shout out to Polar Bear. Shout out to Polar Bear. Merry Christmas. We're going to send you a Frankie Candles hat. I can't promise you it's going to get there by Christmas. I can actually guarantee you that it won't. But shortly after Christmas, you should be getting a free Frankie Candles hat if you claim it in the free Discord. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I hope you guys have a great holiday. Thank you for being the best community in the world. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in some form of an update. Hopefully it's not a Bitcoin dumping update next week. But have a great weekend, guys. Go touch some grass. You guys know I won't. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put